All right, let's dive into something pretty fascinating today. We're going to be talking about hypno-channeling. Have you heard much about this?
Definitely familiar, yeah. It's a really interesting area.
So I guess for anyone who's maybe not as familiar, hypno-channeling, it's like using hypnosis to tap into this like higher consciousness, almost like a universal knowledge kind of thing.
Yeah, it really challenges our typical ideas about consciousness and, like what the mind can actually do.
Exactly right. And we've been looking at this YouTube channel, Hypnovibes, where this hypnotist, Naomi, she guides people through these hypno-channeling sessions. There's one that really stood out to us where a woman named Tina channels an energy called Alicia.
Yeah, and what was so interesting about that session is that Alicia reveals this concept of helpers, beings who help souls basically come into, like, Earth and navigate being physical.
Honestly, when I first heard about this, my inner skeptic was like, whoa, hold on a second.
Right.
But the more we looked into it, the more intrigued I got.
I totally get that. It's healthy to be skeptical, but there's something really compelling about the idea that there might be these forces working behind the scenes, guiding us in ways we don't even realize.
Exactly. And the story that Alicia tells about Naomi's experience at the dentist, it really brings this whole helper idea to life.
Yeah.
Imagine this. Naomi is super late for her appointment, like 40 minutes late.
Yeah, you'd expect some frustration from the staff in that situation, right?
Totally. But instead, Naomi meets this super kind receptionist who bends over backwards to make her feel comfortable, even though she's so late.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Alicia, speaking through Tina, she says this receptionist is actually one of these helpers, someone who might not even consciously know it, but they recognize the souls they need to help and kind of ease their journey here on Earth.
It's like they have this internal radar for the people who need an extra hand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And what's even wilder is that these helpers might not even be aware of what they're doing on a conscious level. They just feel this urge to help, like an intuition or something deeper that they can't quite explain.
That is so fascinating to me. It makes you think that even small acts of kindness could have a much deeper meaning, like a cosmic purpose almost.
Yeah, absolutely. And it makes you wonder, are we surrounded by these helpers all the time without even knowing it? Could that random encounter with someone helpful or an unexpected act of generosity be orchestrated by these unseen forces?
It's definitely making me see everyday interactions in a new light. Makes you think, right?
Sure. And I'm curious to dive more into this session with Alicia and see what else we can learn about these helpers.
Me too. This is like we're just scratching the surface. I'm ready to go deeper down this rabbit hole.
Well, get ready, because Alicia's story about the dentist's office, it doesn't end there.
Oh, there's more. Okay, tell me everything.
So Naomi's getting x-rays, and she notices the technician seems kind of annoyed, probably because she was so late.
Yeah, I get that. Not many people would be happy about that kind of delay.
Right, but then after Naomi apologizes, something kind of cool happens, like the technician's whole energy shifts, and she becomes way more friendly.
So even a simple apology can really change someone's energy, huh?
Exactly, and this little interaction, it actually connects back to the whole helpers thing we were talking about.
I'm not sure I see the connection. How does this tie into those beings helping souls incarnate?
Well, remember, Alicia said these helpers might not always know their purpose consciously, so maybe the x-ray technician was actually acting as a helper too, like subconsciously guided to make things more harmonious.
So you're saying she could have been part of Naomi's journey without even realizing it?
That's the idea Alicia's putting forward. It challenges us to see everyday people doing their normal jobs, maybe playing a much bigger role than we think.
Okay, I'm starting to see how it all fits together. Like, we're all connected somehow, and our actions, even small ones, can ripple out and affect others.
Exactly. And this interconnectedness idea, it pops up in a lot of spiritual and philosophical traditions.
It really is mind-blowing to think about. What if we're all part of this collective energy field, and our thoughts and feelings are shaping it all the time?
It's a fascinating idea, right? And it makes you think about how we can be more aware of our own energy and how it impacts those around us.
This is making me want to pay more attention to those little moments in my day. Like maybe there's more to them than meets the eye.
That's a great takeaway from this, I think. By being more curious and open, we might become more attuned to how the universe is working around us.
Okay, so we've talked about the receptionist and the x-ray technician. Did Alicia mention anyone else from Naomi's dentist visit?
Actually, yeah. There's one more detail that sheds light on how these helpers work. According to Alicia, the receptionist specifically chose that job because he knew it would allow him to help loads of people.
Wait, so he intentionally became a receptionist to be a helper?
That's what Alicia suggests. It implies a pretty amazing level of awareness and intention.
So it's not just about randomly bumping into people in need. It's about choosing a role where you can have a wider impact.
Exactly. It makes you think about all the other helpers out there, maybe in all sorts of jobs, quietly guiding us along the way.
Wow, this is really changing my perspective. Now I'm thinking about everyone I interact with. The barista, the cashier, even that telemarketer who calls at dinner.
It's a fun thought experiment, right? To think that even those everyday encounters might have a deeper meaning.
Definitely. Okay, so we've established that these helpers might be more common than we think. But how do they choose who to help? Do they just sense who needs it?
Well, Alicia says it goes even deeper than that. She claims they can actually recognize souls on a subconscious level.
Soul recognition. That sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does sound wild, but that's what Alicia's saying. She suggests that on a soul level, these helpers just know who they're supposed to help.
So it's not about their looks or their situation. It's about recognizing their true essence on a deeper level.
Exactly. And this soul recognition idea, it actually lines up with some spiritual beliefs that say our souls are connected and have a history that goes beyond this lifetime.
So maybe we've met these helpers before in past lives, and there's some kind of agreement for them to help us in this life too.
It's a captivating thought, right? It adds another layer to this whole idea of helpers and their role in our lives.
This is getting pretty deep. It makes me wonder about my own soul and the connections I might have with people that I don't even realize.
Those are big questions to think about. And I think that's the beauty of exploring these ideas. They make us question things and consider possibilities we never thought of before.
You know, all this talk about raising consciousness and stuff, it reminds me of that book you mentioned, The Next Level You by Naomi.
Oh, yeah. It's a great read. It covers a lot of what we've been talking about, raising your consciousness, tapping into universal knowledge, that kind of thing.
Seems like a good resource for anyone who's interested in learning more about all this.
Definitely. It's a great place to start if you want to dive into the world of hypno-channeling and all the mysteries of the mind.
So if anyone's feeling inspired to raise their consciousness, check out Naomi Sue's book.
It's worth a read for sure. And who knows, maybe it'll spark your own journey of self-discovery.
All right, we've covered a lot of the helpers, their ability to recognize souls, and how they're strategically placed in different roles.
And we touched on how our energy affects others and creates those ripple effects.
But there's one thing I'm still struggling to grasp. Alicia mentioned that these helpers can actually move between bodies.
Yes. That's probably the most mind-blowing part of what Alicia shared.
It sounds like pure science fiction. How can someone switch bodies?
Well, remember, Alicia is speaking from a different state of consciousness, one that isn't bound by our normal understanding.
Okay, so we're talking about a realm beyond our current science, where the rules of reality might be different.
Exactly. And Alicia suggests that in this realm, souls aren't stuck in one body. They can move between bodies as needed to fulfill their purpose.
So like they're actors, playing different roles on the stage of life, changing costumes as needed.
That's a perfect analogy. It captures what Alicia's saying. These helpers aren't limited to one body. They can inhabit different forms to be where they need to be.
Wow, that's a lot to take in. It challenges our whole understanding of identity and the connection between the soul and the body.
It does, and it brings up big questions about consciousness and what happens to us across different lifetimes.
I'm not sure what to believe, but I'm definitely intrigued.
That's a good approach to have with these unconventional ideas.
Okay, so we've got these helpers who can apparently move between bodies. What else did Alicia say about them and their role in our lives? So we've been talking about this wild idea of helpers, based on what Alicia revealed during that Hypno Vibe session.
Yeah, it's definitely been a thought-provoking journey, hasn't it?
For sure. Like, what if these beings are all around us, maybe even interacting with us every day, and we're totally clueless? It makes you see the world a little differently, doesn't it?
I think so. It kind of brings a sense of wonder and like a deeper appreciation for how connected everything is.
Speaking of connection, remember Alicia talked about that energy shift with the X-ray technician? How Naomi's apology just totally changed the vibe.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a great example of how our own energy can impact other people and create this ripple effect.
Exactly. It makes you think that even if we're not, like, cosmic helpers with a capital H, we can still choose to act with kindness and compassion in our daily lives.
That's a really important point. We can all strive to be a positive force for those around us.
So maybe it's not about trying to find these mystical beings in disguise, but more about embodying their spirit in our own actions.
Exactly. It's about realizing that we all have the power to make a difference, no matter how small.
And maybe, just maybe, by doing that, we become part of that network of helpers, consciously or not, and contribute to a more harmonious world.
I love that. It's like we're not just receiving help, but actively participating in this interconnected web where every act of kindness makes a difference.
This whole deep dive has been quite a journey. Started with a YouTube video about hypnochanneling, went deep into the world of helpers, and now we're contemplating the interconnectedness of, well, everything.
It really shows how one story can spark so many layers of thought and make us consider these profound concepts, huh?
Absolutely. And for anyone who wants to keep exploring these ideas, remember we talked about Naomi Shu's book, The Next Level You?
Yes, it's a great resource for those who want to learn more about raising consciousness and understanding these ideas on a deeper level.
So if you're feeling inspired, definitely check it out. You might just discover a whole new side of yourself.
And who knows, maybe you'll start seeing helpers all around you.
Or maybe you'll discover that you're a helper yourself. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into hypnovibes and these cosmic helpers.
It's been fascinating exploring these ideas with you.
Until next time, everyone, stay curious, keep your hearts open, and who knows, you might just stumble upon a little magic along the way.
And now, I like to invite this energy. I have to describe this energy is related to this person that I went to Brooklyn. Forgot the full name. It's a dental office in Fort Greene, and I made an appointment. I went there. I was late, 40 minutes late, and there's a receptionist. He's a dark-skinned receptionist, African American, and I want to know, there's something about this person makes me feel he's very special. So when I count to 3, this energy who's related to the receptionist, it can come through this body. 1 coming through, 2 almost here, and 3. Are you ready? Hi, who am I speaking with? Oh, the oversoul. So I think he's a very special person. He was looking at me, but I know it's not about looking at my face. He looked at me and then he helped me for no reason. He doesn't have to, but he did anyway. So who is this person? Alicia, can you tell me more?
Well, we have a lot of helpers like these on Earth.
Ah, so he's a helper.
Yes.
And what does it mean, helper, what they do?
We facilitate souls when incarnate on Earth, less of an impedance, less of a resistance.
So let's say if I go to that place again, I will see him again or no?
Not really sure.
But this person, he knows or he does not know? Or he does not know on a human level? He knows.
These helpers know.
Oh, so when he looked at me, I did not even have eye contact, but I was looking at somewhere else and I knew he was looking at me for maybe 4 or 5 seconds. So he recognized. Is that right?
He knows you're someone who can help.
But he doesn't know why he should help me, but he just knows he should help. So he knows who he is.
Yes.
So he chose to be a receptionist because he knows that can help some people or a lot of people.
He moves between bodies sometimes and be where he needs to be.
But so he is human, not really?
No, the soul can circulate between bodies.
So that day, the soul went there.
Yes, of course. It came to an agreement with the original soul.
So I was very late, and I couldn't even find the entrance of this hospital. And I feel maybe I should just give up. So there's any reason that and then when I got there, the doctor, the dentist, she looks also, she was nice. But then she gave me all the referrals, so I have to go to somewhere else. So can you tell me what is going on?
This is just something you have to deal with.
And I should check the referrals? I did not even do that because I have another appointment. I said maybe I'll go to the next place and see if I like there. I should deal with them in this place I visited.
Do you have any more problems?
I just want to have second opinion. I think the other place is probably less expensive.
Do you have a problem with your teeth?
Yeah, the implant came out.
And you can do what is best for you.
Right, but I feel that day, what is going on? Why I came here I got treatment. They checked my teeth. They took X-ray. Oh, by the way, the X-ray room, if you can tell me, there's a woman, she works there. I think that's all she does. And then because this guy wants to help me, so made her stay late, something like that. So she was very unhappy when I walked in. And so I felt very bad. I don't know what to do. You are not happy, but I'm here. So I said, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to waste anyone's time. And she said, no, you're not wasting anyone's time. My latest appointment is supposed to be 3, but now it's 4. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. And she said, no, it's okay. And then I felt, okay, her energy just changed. It has something to do with something else. And then when I was in the doctor's office, she came in for no reason. She was standing by the door. I don't know why she was there. There's something about this, is it like a nurse or assistant?
Yes, as long as you're being honest and be who you are and express yourself at that moment.
So her attitude changed.
Yes.
And I feel like, wow, that was quick.
Because you shifted.
So she shifted.
Yes.
Oh. And I felt almost like, what is going on? I cannot believe people just change like that. So this is a proof. If we shift, then people shift. The people will shift in a different reality, in our new reality.
Yes, you just have to keep constantly express who you are.
And be honest with yourself. Right. I was going to complain. I was going to say, look, I'm just a patient. And then I said, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to waste anyone's time. And that changed everything. It's dramatically. It's hard to believe. That's it. And I appreciate your explanation and your teachings. And I will speak with you soon again. Thank you.